Okay.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast. Tonight we are in Oregon. Some of us are in Oregon. Some of us are in Georgia.
So we are okay. What is this? Okay. Wait.
Yes. So tonight is a pretty good night. We're going to talk about two locations, and Jeff and Mr. Hart and Charlotte is going to show us around in another location that's in Oregon. It's a place I've never heard of before. So if anybody out there who have heard of this location, feel free to leave comments in the chat room. But with enough said, we're going to go ahead and go to a quick commercial, and we're going to come back, and Miss Connie is going to introduce her, where she's at, and her team and what she does, and Mr. Jeffrey and Mr. Hart and Charlotte are going to do the same thing right after that. So, hey guys, this is Terry with NSPS TV. Be back in a minute, maybe.
May I have your attention, please? It's time for the final countdown. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh.
All right, guys, we're back. Hello, Connie.
Hello.
How you doing this evening?
A little cool, but doing good. It's windy here.
Okay, well, you know what? At least you got your drink. I'm so proud of you right now. I got mine, and I ate up my zingers, so they're not paying me for it anyway. So I'm not even gonna worry about it. You know what I'm saying? But before I get to Mr. Vaughan and Mr. Hart, Connie, tell the world a little bit about what you do.
Well, my name is Connie Lee. I'm in Waycross, Georgia, about 75 miles from Jacksonville, Florida. I started my team in July of 2016. It's called Ware County Paranormal Society. We've done multiple investigations. I think the scariest one that I went on was the Devil's Bridge in Cochran, Georgia, with Mr. Vaughan actually a few years ago. And I actually just got some new equipment in that I ordered. I got me a thermal camera, monocular, night vision, a new spirit box, a new EMF meter, one of the listening devices, I forget what it's called. I know what it's called, but I can't think of it right now.
I understand. Trust me.
And
I lose sight sometimes too.
I remember one of our first investigations we did was at a movie theater here. And every bit of equipment, the batteries drained. I lost all of my evidence. And I had this one camera that only records in a certain format. And it ended up recording in an unknown format on the camera. And I tried reformatting it in different ways, and it got completely erased.
Oh, wow. That is crazy. Don't you just hate when things like that happen?
Most definitely.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on the show tonight. I really appreciate it. And I got to do a big shout out in Georgia. So please bear with me. I'd like to shout out to all my relatives out there. I don't know who you are, but hopefully you know who I am. All right. And Mr. Jeffrey Vaughan, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well.
All right. Hey, tell the world a little bit about Jeffrey Vaughan and what he's up to in Oregon.
I can't hear. What was the question one more time?
I was like, tell the world a little bit about Jeffrey Vaughan and what he's doing in
Yeah.
Oregon.
Well, I'm the founder of Paranormal Society of Middle Georgia. We founded it back in July of well, this coming July will be 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
and basically, we just started out doing graveyards, and then somebody came to us and said, "Hey, we know this old museum. It's the old Turner County Jail." And so we went down to that, and basically, while we was in there, if I wasn't a believer or a true believer before we got there, I became a believer that night, because it's truly the most haunted jail in probably in the country, but definitely in Georgia. So we went with it. We ran that facility for about 4.5 years. And we've done investigations pretty much all over the southeastern United States, um, and I've enjoyed it. I mean, I've had some good times there, and we just, right now we're in one of the most haunted hotels in Oregon, and they're letting us use this for the podcast show. We're going to show you a little bit on the outside. We can't get into the most haunted room here, just because I guess, probably booked. It is a weekend, and but yeah, we've been doing it, and I'm currently out in Washington. I mean, in Oregon and Washington, right on the side of the river. Here's on the other side of the river is Washington. So I'm coming back east on the and I think in April.
Okay, cool. Now, tell me a little bit about this location that you're at. What's the name of it, and when was it founded? And what part of Oregon it's in, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, this is the Columbia Gorge Hotel. It was built back in the 1920s as a hotel, and then I believe in the 30s, early 40s, it became like a retirement kind of home, and then it went back to a hotel again. This location is, I mean, there's a lot of stories about this place, and certainly, there's different stories. Some have some merit to it, some don't. But we are in Hood River, Oregon, right in the Columbia Gorge. It's beautiful here. Well, just right outside this door here is the Columbia River, and I believe, as a lot of people in the paranormal, that water, like moving water, acts as an energy source. And it's just beautiful. I mean, this hotel here is haunted. I mean, I believe that they, I think that some of the reviews I read about it and some of the stories are a little bit far-fetched. But tonight we're going to have somebody who has been at this hotel for a long time, and I believe they're here. But what we're going to do is have her come in and sit down, and hopefully, maybe, she can elaborate more on what's going on here. The hope is that we can come back and actually get into. I'm not going to mention the room number because there's some discrepancies with that, because there are two different rooms and they're almost next to each other. Hell, I'll tell you the room number is 330. And so look at Connie laughing. But yeah, so yeah,
she ain't the only
we want
one.
to come back and do it, but what's the question?
Connie, he said, "What the hell?"
So let me see if they have. Hey, Charlotte. Charlotte, is that the lady?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have this. We're gonna have. What's her name? What's your name?
Tamara.
Tamara?
Yes.
Okay, guys, we got Tamara, and she's gonna sit down. It's hard to hear this, so I'm gonna let you sit right here.
Okay.
And you used to work here?
I do work here.
Oh, she works here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Are you okay with this?
Yeah,
We're putting her on the spot.
Okay. If I had a speaker, I'd bring it for you.
Yeah, we wish we had a crowd.
I would have set you guys up in my office on my computer if I'd have known you were in this situation. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, next time.
next time. That's right. Exactly.
Right. So,
Are you
So-
guys able to hear?
Yes,
ma'am.
I can hear.
Okay.
so that's Terry, and we're on NSPS,
Okay. Hi.
and they have, so go ahead, tell them your,
Well, I'm new to your show, so I really don't know. I first moved to Hood River in 2007 and came to the hotel and loved it. So I got an interest in it. 10 years later, I had the opportunity to become the marketing manager here. So I spent a lot of time marketing the hotel. I really enjoyed that. Management changed. I came back a couple of years ago. I work in administration now.
Mhm.
So do a lot of behind the scenes anyway. But I'm a former journalist and I'm also I'm a freelance writer. So I've been studying the hotel for several years, interviewing a lot of people. Some people I worked with, some people who just stayed here. We have experiences all the time. Sometimes it's
Like-
guests,
Like,
paranormal.
like 3 sets of guests leaving in the last month.
Oh, where'd you hear that rumor? I don't know about the last month. We did have a gentleman that had I think this person had a app on his phone, and he said he panicked about 11:30 at night, came down and said, he'd only been there one night. He said, there's spirits all over my room. He goes, you people are, misleading information because you don't put this on your website that you're haunted. And we
Oh,
wanted
no.
to say, well, this is a 103-year-old hotel. Yes, it's haunted and has been. I actually even have pictures of some of the ghosts. One of the, no, different people took. But then I was here for some of them. One of the commonalities I found is they show up in mirrors.
oh, wow.
And that's
Oh,
when I
yeah.
noticed. I said, oh my gosh, this is a mirror, this is a mirror, this is a mirror. So people were actually taking photos, happened to catch a mirror in the photo, and that's where you can see the
I
ghosts.
love that.
Well, mirrors are known as a portal for spirits.
That's what somebody told me. They said you're never supposed to stand between two mirrors because they're
Oh,
a
no.
portal.
Where?
No, especially if you have two mirrors facing.
And I was going to say this room is set up for that.
Yeah. Especially if you have two mirrors facing each other, that creates an open portal for the spirits to come in and out of their realm into ours.
Right.
But it also allows other things to come through as well.
I don't think I want to go there. One ghost left a ghostly message in a mirror. We finally figured out that it was a reflection. So it was really uncanny. And it was close to Halloween. So we were convinced that somebody was playing a joke. And we went around to everybody working. We said, oh, come on. Oh, come on. That's you. You're doing that. And everybody said, no, that was not me. And they were serious. Help me.
What about the furniture?
I'll show you pictures. I have them. So what was the question?
Yeah, the question's about the furniture being stacked against the door when no one was in the room. Tell us a little bit about that.
So the story about that is that what they believe, when it was a rest home for about 25 years, from about 1952 to 1977, I'm not exactly accurate on the end date. It was the neighbors of Woodcraft. They moved their rest home to here. And there was a rumor that there was a lady who was bothered at night and didn't want to be. So she had a habit of taking her nightstand and pushing it in front of the door to block anybody trying to come into the room at night. And I've never seen it happen, but I have seen the old piece of furniture, which is now we've renovated, so we don't have it. The old nightstand, there was just scrapes. And it happened all the time where what would happen is a housekeeper would come in, clean the room, walk out, nobody had been in there, and guests would try to get into their room, and the door was blocked. And there's no way to get in there from the outside or anything because it's too 2 or 3 floors up.
Mhm.
There's no way to get in from the outside. So, yeah.
Was
So
it
whoever
303 or 330?
that one, so the room numbers changed. You probably heard this with our renovations.
Okay.
So I still have trouble doing that. I finally the other day took an old map and wrote in all the new numbers. So anyway, I have some of the old, they peeled off the old brass plates. So I have some of those things. I took them when we renovated. But the, what was I going to say? But the,
330 number.
well, I don't remember that room. I have it written down. It's somewhere in my notes, but I don't have it offhand. But one time when I was marketing manager here earlier in 17 and 18, we had our regional manager come. And I was talking to Amy and she said, I won't, it was on the 3rd floor. That's it. Because she said, I won't stay on the 3rd floor anymore because she stayed in that room and it scared her. She woke up to everything being moved and nobody had been in there. And so she was like, I won't stay on the 3rd floor. It is the most active floor.
So, is there any way possible that in the future we could come and get that room?
Yes.
All right.
You have to talk to the boss. We'll see what he says.
Okay.
I'm not certain on the management. I mean, the owners, it's kind of a fine line. Some people are fascinated by it and they want to come. They go, where's the most active room? I want to stay in that room. Others are like, you know, they don't want to hear about it. If you started talking ghosts, they would not check in. So anyway, in fact, like just a couple of weeks ago, I was at the front desk going through the mail and there was a lady wandering around the lobby looking so excited and happy but she was looking lost. And I said, can I help you? Do you need some help with something? And she goes, oh, I'm just so excited. I just got through talking to a ghost. And I said, oh, really? I said, well, that's great. And so that was room 202. That one I remember. And she said, what happened is she was, she was sitting and saw the light flickering on and off in the closet, which it does that. They're remote. We do have some energies or whatever you want to call them that mess with the lights in those closets because they can be manipulated. It's just like a touch light. I've had touch lights where they just go on and off and nobody's touching them. So she began to see a pattern. And so she started to talk to it. And she said, are you male? Nothing happened. Are you a female? Flickered on and off. And then she proceeded to ask it a lot of questions. She said it was a young female who had died in the hotel. And I don't know, she had some other stuff, but she was so fascinated. So she said she really wanted to go see our ballroom, which we don't normally take guests down to the ballroom unless they're planning to have an event here or a wedding. I said, sure, I'll take you down to the ballroom. Very nice lady. Mm-hmm. So I took her down there and she happened to have an app on her phone, which had a little radar type thing. And as we were standing there, I was telling her the story. So our ballroom is set up such that there is 5 large mirrors along one wall with columns in between. The other wall is 5 sets of French doors with the columns in between. So we are standing over by the French doors. And I was telling her the story. On the first mirror, there's a little girl who leaves her handprints, just like this, on the mirror in a certain place all the time. And one of our maintenance people, he said, I watched the housekeepers clean that mirror 5 times in one day while they were setting it for a wedding because the handprints kept appearing.
Wow. Wow.
So
So
the story is she's a little girl who drowned in the trout pond when the hotel Wag Wing Win sat on this property. It was the first hotel to be here. They tore it down to build the Columbia Gorge Hotel. And there was a large trout pond. I recently found a photo of it, so I was really excited about that. I've been doing my research, and because I worked a lot of years in television news, but I've been going through old newspapers, which you can find online. It's very amazing. And I'm trying to find the story about what happened to this little girl. I've gone to the police department for old records. I used to work at the newspaper here, and I've been trying to find the story. The journalist in me wants to know well, what's the real story behind this?
Mhm.
And so I'm still working on a lot of stories. But the little girl, when I mentioned her, this phone started to beep, started showing on the radar right where we were talking about.
Oh, wow.
Then it went away, and I'm telling the lady about the gentleman ghost that one of our head of maintenance last year in April got a picture of because he was shooting video. Didn't know this guy was behind him. It showed up in the mirror when he stopped to the mirror across the way. And I was telling her about the gentleman. Oh, he was right over there. And there, beep, there goes the beep. This
Mhm.
person they were talking about. So that was, I found that interesting.
So what about is there a spirit that's been associated that wears a top hat?
You're talking about Oscar.
Oscar, okay.
There's different stories about Oscar. When I first worked here as marketing manager, there was a gentleman who worked here for 15 years, and he's been everywhere in the hotel, in the bowels and everything, and he had all kinds of experiences. He can describe Oscar to a T. He's seen him. He said, I've had a ghost touch me before. Can I have some of my water? I'm sorry, I'm getting a little, I'm talking a lot.
We need to get you a drink.
No, thank you. I can help myself after I'm done.
Okay.
One of the nice things of working here. Anyway, so there's two stories about Oscar. There's a story about a bell captain, and people think he was Oscar. But I've been told by this gentleman that worked here 15 years, he said, no, Oscar was a resident who lived here, had an affair with a lady, and her husband got angry, came and shot him and killed him in bed here at the hotel.
Wow.
Whoa.
So Oscar is the one, and the way that Gene describes him, he sounded like Abraham Lincoln. Very, very tall and thin, wears all black, long waistcoat, and the little tie with the, you know, the like the Texas tie.
Yeah, I still tell
It's
that.
the little rope. And he wears a top hat. There's other people who have also seen, a lot of people see him out of the corner of their eye. One of the pictures I do have is of the bell captain. And so I'm like, again, I'm still doing a lot of research, and I'm trying to flesh out, I want the true story. When I first came back, all the people who working here were new, and they didn't know the real stories. And I heard them telling guests things, and I'm thinking, no, that's not right. That's not the story. So that's part of the journalist in me wanting to get it all correct. In writing, there is no story on this hotel. And this hotel is known worldwide. It's an amazing place. I absolutely love it. I love working here. That's why I'm here. And so we just, you know, it's been a fun trip. But yeah, the ghosts just make it a little more interesting. My book is, I've been toying with writing a book. If I do, the half of it will be history. The other half will be all about we call them the permanent residents.
Okay.
So that way we don't frighten the guests.
Hey, now, Terry, do you have any questions?
Yes. I have two. How many souls are accounted in that location? And if any of those souls are from the previous hotel and establishment that was there before?
There's nobody that I know that has done that differentiation. We don't know. What I did hear, and I was actually interested to hear that, and now I'm tracking that down, is we have a chef who's been here for, I think Eduardo's been here like 20 years or more. And he said in like early 2002, 2003, something like that, there was so much activity from the permanent residents, they were starting to frighten the guests. And so they brought some people in, and I'm like, well, did they bring in the Ghostbusters? He said, he goes, no, they brought in this group of people. He really couldn't tell me what they did. So I'm trying to find some others who might know. I don't know what they did, but they cleared some of the energy, I guess. And they said, we thought, and Eduardo told me, we thought we had about 10 ghosts. And he said, they said, oh no, there were like 25.
Wow. Okay.
Now you know why they were probably starting to bother the guests. So, there's so many people against it. And then he said that a few years later, they had to do it again. So, like I said, I'm new to that, trying to find out that whole story. And the people who owned the hotel at that time, I know one of them has passed away. The other one's elderly, but I am trying to find her. And so I want to get this from as many people. Next week, I have an appointment to meet one of the Rand family members. They were the father and the son built the original hotel, the Hotel Wagwin Win. Mm-hmm. So some folks at the museum set me up to meet with him. So I'm trying to find out as much as I can and put it down for posterity because I love this place.
Okay. Terry, you have the second question?
Yes. Have you involved the Historical Society on your venture?
No, I haven't. We don't technically have a historical society here. It's not that big. Hood River is a smaller town. I mean, Hood River itself is only about 45 minutes from the edges of Portland. So we're close. There's probably a historical society there who might handle the gorge. But we are not in the mainstream of the news because there's so much. Portland's a big city. I often joke because I worked for an NBC station. Our local NBC station is KGW, and I've met up with some of the people just through different circumstances. In fact, they make fun of me because they're like, "And you live here now?" I worked in television news 4 hours north of LA, so I worked a lot with the network as well. So anyway, I said, "Yes, I like it here," but they don't cover anything here unless there's a big fire or tanker overturned in the gorge. We're just kind of last on the list. So anyway, we don't get covered by a lot of that. So but I have a full-time job too. So this is on my spare time because I do not do this through work at all.
Now,
I have a question. Mm-hmm. So, hey Terry, do you think maybe you can bring us back on your show and after we've had a chance to, maybe come here a couple times and speak with her again, more in depth and see some of the stuff available?
Yes. I mean, I don't see any problem with that. I mean, I think that would be a great idea.
Okay. As long as you can get permission.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely would everything.
Well, from the high ups, they're the ones that make.
I mean, not that we're going to come in and just start.
No. I know.
Because I'm really curious because this is the location I've never heard of.
I'm sorry. What were you saying, Terry?
I'm really curious about the location because this is a location I've never heard of before.
Really?
I don't know if it was just lost in time or is it just because it's located in the Pacific, the Great Pacific Northwest. But I'm really curious to know about this location, and also, and if the owners are open to it, I think it would be a great idea to open it up to paranormal investigators. That because once certain things get opened up, you will have a flood of paranormal investigators in investigating your facilities, and that would and once that happens, it would be a prime location where people can go investigate, and just have fun and look at the great scenery and stuff like that.
Well, to be honest with you, I know that they've had paranormal investigators throughout some time here, but when I was marketing manager here, our general manager was very Christian and did not entertain that at all. He was very against it. So he was not open to it. So nothing happened when that. This time around, I have a different general manager. I'm not sure how he stands on it. And and speaking as the former marketing manager here, it's a fine line because you want to open it up. I would love to open it up to the paranormal people because there is a lot of activity here. There can be. I think everything slowed down. Last year, we totally renovated the second and third floor, all of the guest rooms. And when we gutted it, they took all the furniture, they took everything. And I think that really, that everything got super quiet paranormally because
Yeah.
I think they were discombobulated, and they changed the room numbers and everything else. So it was very different. Now, each room used to be very, very individually. They had antique beds of all different kinds, a lot of uniqueness to each room. And now they're all uniform. So it's very same.
I'm looking, when I mentioned that, I'm looking at the business aspect of the hotel. At the end of the day, it's all about money.
Well, but you still, if you get so much publicity for paranormal, you get the people who are very rigid who would not enjoy that and not want to come. And we do a lot of weddings. I think we have somewhere along the line of 50 or 60 weddings this year already. So you can just see there's kind of a fine line we have to walk to appeal to one group and kind of keep that area separate than the other group, because there are people who will run out at 11:30 at night saying, oh yeah, he left. Oh, he said, and then he went on Yelp and gave us a terrible review.
Oh my God.
But all the paranormal people read that review and said, oh, let me go. I'm sure.
I mean, it's one of those things where you give and take. It's a give and take thing. So what you might lose in something, you might gain in another.
Yes, I'm just not sure how the owners feel or the general manager. I don't know. I've not really talked to them about how they feel about the paranormalness. The current owners have owned the hotel since 2009.
Do I got to make a road trip?
Pardon?
Do I got to make a road trip?
Where are you at?
I'm in Texas.
Oh, in Texas? Yeah. Well, it's beautiful up here in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know if you folks are aware. In fact, I was telling people last week. Do you remember the TV show Grimm?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in the 6th season, the final season, that whole show was filmed in Portland. It was all based in Portland. And then in the last season, they filmed their Valentine's special at this hotel. So there's a lot of, you can see the hotel, you can see our waterfall, which is very unique. How many people have a 208-foot waterfall, right? And so they showed a lot of the first floor, although we've renovated since then, so it looks a little different. But you can see the hotel on that. You can see the outside of it. So if you want to look it up online, I think the CW has it for free, or it's on Netflix and such. But it's called Love Bites. And it's season 6, episode 7, I believe.
And it sounds like I could be wrong, but this location sounds like the Stanley of the Northwest.
Sounds like what?
The Stanley
Hotel.
I don't know the history of the
That's
Stanley.
the one that Stephen King based his movie on. The Shining.
Oh, The Shining. Well, The Shining, you know the Timberline Lodge on the other side of the mountain here on Mount Hood. I live at the base of the mountain actually in the town of Mount Hood on this side. But on the other side of the mountain, Timberline Lodge, that is the outside of all the exteriors of the hotel in The Shining were shot there. But the interiors are not. That was not it. Yeah. In fact, even when they did Grimm here, the interiors of the hotel rooms in the hallways, they did not film that here, because our hallways are much more narrow. And so they clearly did that at a hotel in Portland.
It doesn't rain as much in Oregon as they say on TV.
Oh, no. Actually, Oregon has some really dry places.
Pinellas is the dry place.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I have a question. Have you been able to uncover any documentation on any of the supposed deaths that has occurred at the hotel?
Documentation on deaths, you say?
Yes.
No, I haven't gone that far. Yeah. One of the things I want to do is, I understand when they left, the neighbors of Woodcraft left here in Hood River, they moved into Gresham, which is a suburb of Portland. It's just as you get to the end of the gorge. And I want to go talk to some people from that. They are now with I think the Woodsman, they've merged, right? So they've merged back?
Well, they're an offshoot organization, and then
Right.
they merged with the original organization, which is
The Woodsman. So, no, I don't know that I'm just going to go that in depth, because my focus is the hotel. I just want to tell the history of how it started and everything, and then, put that whole background, and then go into the stories. And like I said, I have pictures. I'll have to show you guys that.
I can share 'em. I can link them into our thing.
I'm really private about my, I won't release them until I do it.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, but, huh?
Can you,
Oh, there you go. That's it. So.
is there any way you can tell me? Is there any way you can tell me a little bit about the hotel? The one before,
Sure.
The one they knocked down before they built this one.
The Hotel Wagwin.
Yeah.
We have photographs of it. Yes, it was a 2-story hotel. It was back in so they built this hotel, was completed in 1921. So that, I'm not exact on the dates. I think it was built in 1905, the Hotel Wagwin, and they tore it down in the 1919. And then they built this hotel. So the Hotel Wagwin was, a lot of people would come out from Portland and stay for a month, and they liked it. It's very kind of a shack, kind of rambling, and just, nothing paved or anything at the driveway. I can show you some photos of it. And like I said, they supposedly had a big trout pond. This property has a creek running through it. It's called Phelps Creek. It runs underneath a major highway, Highway 84, that goes through the gorge into Portland and all the way to the eastern side of the state. And the water, it flows through our property. It's a beautiful little creek. And then it goes off the cliffside, which we're built on the cliffside. And it's a 208-foot waterfall.
Oh, wow.
Right into the Columbia River, exactly. So they when I've seen pictures of the Hotel Wagwin, it was so much closer even to the waterfall that I'm like, wow. I thought it was a little too close. But people would come up and stay. Like I said, they would holiday here, and they were well known for their chicken dinners, apparently. So a lot of people would come out for Sunday from Portland, and just to come have these famous chicken dinners, because they raise their own chickens. It was originally a 21-acre parcel, and today it exists as a 7-acre parcel. So, but it's still a pretty good size, nobody has that kind of property.
Something like that that really, because it had to have been a reason why they knocked that hotel down to build this one. Now, do you think anything odd might have happened at that hotel? Because a lot of things happen in hotels where a lot of people don't talk about.
The Hotel Wagwin.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been a place for where ladies of the night would go and, have their customers. It could, there's so many things that could happen.
I don't think so. This seemed to be a very family-oriented type of thing. The person I'm going to meet with next Monday at our museum, our local museum, is a descendant of the builders and owners of the Hotel Wagwin. There is a road here in town called Rand Road, and the owners were the Rands. So that's one of the reasons I'm going to talk to this gentleman. He actually works with these historical people at our museum. So I figure he probably can give me some of the background. So I'll find out what that was all about. But from what I've read, in the old papers is that, yeah, it was just a family place. People like to come out, but this was more upscale. It's kind of hard to describe. Hood River is a more upscale little town. There are actually a lot of wealthy people who live here because it is the #1 place in the continental United States for windsurfing and kiteboarding because of the way the wind flows through the gorge. So we get a lot of people who have summer homes. They just literally come out here, you know, and they come out and windsurf and kiteboard throughout all the summer. They don't have to work. They're either, they call them trust fund babies here. So there's just a lot of wealthy people who retire and come to live here. And so it's just a different kind of clientele. And I think from what I've read, that was the way it was when it first started back in the day. And yeah, so both hotels. And this was a show place. This place, it's nowhere near what the caliber that it was when it first opened. So very prestigious people. You know, lady so-and-so and so-and-so, all the history talks about all these prestigious people. In fact, one of the things I was interested in finding was they had a very large group that came in, and this woman spoke, and she had been to Mount Vernon, Washington's Mount Vernon, which she brought back a sprig of ivy from there, and she planted it on the property. Now, you can't see the room that I'm in, but this is called the Garden Terrace. And right outside, there's all this ivy that grows all along this whole front of the hotel in the summer. You can't see it now because there's no ivy, or I would show you. But yeah, in the summer it's there. It's all, you know, died back for the winter. But I don't know if that's where she planted it, but I thought that was quite interesting. I thought, could be ivy from Mount Vernon. So anyway, you find a lot of interesting things when you start doing all this research. So
right.
Anyway,
now, when you guys start doing remodeling,
we did. We already remodeled.
Man, did the activity pick up doing the remodeling? Were you able to keep certain crews in there to do the remodeling, or was there constantly changing crews because they couldn't, you know, handle the activity there?
The way the remodel worked, I wasn't here for when they did the main floor. The first floor is all the main floor. That's our restaurant, our Valentino Lounge, and that's called the Valentino Lounge because Rudolph Valentino called it his hideaway. So he used to come here and stay here all the time, and Clara Bow and a lot of the old time, you know, silent film stars. So our lounge and the offices are all on the main floor. And this was done in the January of 2022, they did the first floor. And then I was here January of last year, and they brought in a crew who basically, they did not stay in our hotel because we ripped out everything in all the rooms. They stayed next door. We arranged them to stay with our other. So it was just one crew that came in, and we had a skeleton staff that would stay here at the hotel. There were a few incidents, not a lot. All I can say is that you couldn't have paid me to be the overnight person in this hotel all by myself. There's just enough activity and there were people who did stay overnight, and they had experiences, you know, going down the hallway, checking everything and hearing knocks on the wall and such. Yeah. So they would come in every morning and work, and then they would go, you know, they actually mostly worked 7 days a week. So it took about 6 weeks to do the renovations, but we did everything. They took out all the carpeting, all the drapes, all the furniture was all gotten rid of. Yeah, and then so it's top to bottom. And I think that disturbed the residents, the permanent residents, enough that they kind of went away.
So maybe there were some attachments connected to some of that furniture that went with it. And whoever's
I
got
think
it
so.
now, it's like,
had I been here, it was kind of an awkward time. It was right before Christmas, and I was going up to my son's in Washington. So I had to take 2 days off early because we were going to have an ice storm, and there was no way I could get up there. so I left early, and I didn't get back till the day after Christmas. And everybody's like, oh, they told us we could just go up and put our names on any of the furniture to have. The employees, they literally gave us all the furniture. And I missed out on a lot of that. I would have found that dresser, and I would have taken it. At least had gotten a picture of it. But by then it was just people had already started taking beds and everything. In the end, I ended up with some of the iron bed frames, and they're in my garden now. So that's my memento from the hotel. I thought that was pretty cool.
So, I just wanted to thank you for coming in and sharing that information, and that clears up a lot of the suspicion and the rumors. And
Oh, I don't know what rumors are out there. So now I'm interested to hear.
I think, one of the rumors is about the pond, and they're,
Oh, you have heard.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah, so about the pond, but it was about footprints, wet footprints walking across the dry floor. But I think the prints are going to be possibly associated with the handprints and not footprints.
Oh, so for today, in today's day and age, people have said there were footprints across?
Well, there's a site called Fright Night,
Uh-huh.
and they're out of Denver, Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody had made a post onto there about their experience or their secondhand knowledge
Mm-hmm.
of this, and they mentioned they said a pool, but there was not a pool. There was a pond, and
Right.
they said that there was wet footprints going across the floor. But that individual who wrote the thing, it was just secondhand information.
They might have talked about, it may have been the handprints.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It
Uh-huh.
probably is now,
Mhm.
because that sounds a little bit more.
Yeah. We do find handprints. I took some prints of a mirror upstairs coming up the one first staircase. And the housekeeper pointed out to me, because she knows I always look for this stuff. And she said, look. And we have very few children stay here. It's more of an adult hotel. And we have children when there's weddings, but it's not wedding season. So when you get little handprints at this level, and they're just little, you know that's probably wasn't a guest.
Right.
And we know when the guests are here and then they leave, and sometimes we'll get kids or something, but right. So, and other people have had their animals, we're dog friendly, and they've had people, their dog is just stare at a corner. They stare because they see something clearly. And so they've had that experience. But there's even a story where one lady was a husband and wife were in their room. One was sitting at the desk, the other was across the room, and they were both looking. All of a sudden, this lady in a long blue dress appeared in the floor between them, and they both saw it, and then she disappeared, and they're like, did you just see that? Wasn't that cool? So they were really excited about it. I never spoke with those people myself, but I love to talk to people when they come out and say that. There used to be a binder at the front desk that when people came up and told stories, they would be written in.
Oh, yeah.
And it went missing a few years ago. Nobody
Wow.
seems to know where it is, because I've tried to find it. But there's somebody still working here who worked then, and they said, yeah, I remember reading it, and it existed. And so anyway.
So, Tara, you have any final questions or?
No, dude, this is an interesting location.
I know. I can't wait to come back.
Right? Do you,
Well,
do you have a Facebook page where, because I'm curious to know on what this conversation that you're going to have next week. Are you going to be able to post that? Or is that something that you keep to yourself?
Well, here's my plan. My tentative plan is I've told myself I am going to make myself finish this within 6 months. Because my background is marketing, I will market the heck out of it. I'm probably I'll create a site. I'll have a website. I will have an Instagram account and a Facebook page. I'll have to do all of that. But I don't physically want to do all of that myself. I'm getting a little older for that. So I'll probably hire people to do it. Just people I know, students and such.
Mhm.
But yeah, there will be a lot more. So we can kind of keep in touch, and I'll let you guys know as things progress. Clearly, it's kind of a weird thing. I don't know exactly how this is going to work, because it will be weird to do all this and release it and still work here. I'm guessing I probably will leave,
Mhm.
because just I don't want to mix the two.
Yeah.
Because this will be my thing. I do all of this in my own time. Clearly, I'm not working right now, and I came back to the hotel.
Mhm.
But I don't advertise to the owners that I'm doing this, just because it hasn't even manifested yet. But when it does, then I'll deal with that as it goes. But I will have it out there quite a bit. And I think it will help the hotel. I think it'll be
Yeah.
an asset to it. I think people really should know the history. It's fascinating. And we get people here from all over the world. So, we have people come out from Washington, D.C., book the hotel for 4 days, all floors, and they have their wedding and the whole thing here for just for days. We had a Secret Service man do that a couple of years ago, and they were like, "Don't take any pictures. You can't take any pictures, because he can't be photographed, because he's Secret Service."
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And so actually I had 2 couples do that, but yeah, they literally came out and booked the hotel for 4 days.
Wow.
Mhm.
Hey,
So
I
What's
get
your name?
Tamara,
Tamara?
Emler Ball. I have 2 last names.
Okay.
So-
Cameron, I got a question for you from a.
Yes.
I don't know if you're able to see this in the. Are you able to? Are you able to see that comment?
Oh, you're in the show. Everyone can see you and hear you. Yes.
No.
Is that a bad thing?
No. Is there any? Have you ever, since you've been there, have there been any Bigfoot experiences in the area?
I have not had a Bigfoot experience. I don't know anybody personally who does, but I have heard there are. We have a place across the river in White Salmon who has a lot of Bigfoot information, and they have they kind of tout themselves. I'll give you guys, there's a flyer in the lobby. Have you seen it?
He's on my Facebook.
You do? Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. From Margie's? Yeah. Now-
In the outdoor store and.
Oh, okay. So
Marge. The outdoor store and post your paranormal stuff.
Oh, okay. No, and I thought I really should go over there and check that out, just because I haven't seen it. But one of the gentlemen that works here, he was our maintenance manager, but he's still here, but he got injured. Anyway, Marty's wife works there, so he always tells us about Margie's. But yeah, I've heard that. I actually live at the base of Mount Hood, on this side, the north side of Mount Hood. So I live in the upper Hood River Valley, and we have all kinds of interesting experiences. One night, I have 2 sons that used to be in the Army. He and my daughter were standing on the side of the house, and they were talking. Our property backs up to the Mount Hood Irrigation District Canal. And they were sitting out there, and all of a sudden they heard a big splash into the canal. And my son, like I said, he used to train Army Rangers. It freaked him out. He came into the house, came in and got his AR-15 and walked back out. I said, "What are you going to do with that?" He says, "I don't know, but it was a big splash." I don't know what it was. So maybe that's the closest we came to a Bigfoot. But if Bigfoot's around, he definitely would be where I live.
Yeah.
Because my neighbor at the end of the road has 100 acres. And it goes up the mountain. We're backed up by the
There's
forest.
a lot of nasty things in the forest.
There's a lot of things. Yeah, we get all kinds of critters and such.
I
So,
don't mean critters.
oh well,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
That's-
my son is packing, and he knows how to use them, so I don't worry about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in Oregon. I mean, half of Oregon has probably been untouched by man. So you really don't know what's up in the higher elevations.
I probably really don't want to know. So, like I said. Anyway, well, I'm sorry I kind of commandeered your show.
That's okay. It was pretty interesting. You gave a lot of insight about the hotel, a lot of history, and a lot of things that that we're looking forward to from your, your finding on this, because I'm definitely going to keep in contact.
Okay.
You want to send me your
And
email?
you know where to find me. You know where to find me weekdays. I'm here. So,
Well, if you want to send me your email, or have Jeffrey give your email to Jeffrey, and
okay.
I can email you just to see how things going with that. With
How many
your
people watch this show, by the way?
It's been a couple.
A couple?
Yeah, it's been a couple.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, it's been a couple people, a couple hundred maybe.
Okay.
It'll be a couple thousand before the weekend is out. 'Cause a lot of people comes on the show and they'll watch it, after the program has been recorded. So they'll come back and watch it and leave their comments, or they'll message me, asking about the location and where it's at and all that good stuff.
Well, good. Well, I thank you. I enjoyed talking about the hotel, and as I said, I love it. I love it here. That's why I'm here. It's not to get rich, but it's to work here.
Right.
So,
Well,
you're welcome.
Thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Pardon?
I said thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. We heard a rumor, and it took all week for us to find out what was going on, because I kept saying, how come nobody sent them to me? Most of the people I work with I know a lot about the history. They all have stories. They all know the stories, but of the, things that happen currently. But anyway, so yeah. Okay. All right. Let me get out of your way. You can say goodbye. Okay. All right.
So I'm not sure if this has to end right now, but right outside this door, the building's kind of lit up. Would you guys like to see the outside real quick?
Sure.
You might see a ghost in the tower.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's go.
Make sure you look up at the tower, because
That's
sometimes
amazing.
the ghost appears there. The ghost appears right there.
Did you hear that, Charlie?
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully you can get kind of a view of it. That's the tower up there.
Oh wow, interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of dark, and then like the picture that I can see of our screen is only like half an inch. So I'm trying, but
Yeah, is it surrounded by forests on 3 sides or on all 4?
surrounded by what?
The forest?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is it surrounded by the forest, by nature on 3 sides or on all 4?
Oh, I wouldn't necessarily say it's in the forest. But like, I don't know if you guys can see over this way. There's like this garden, and there's trees all around. On the other side of the building from this side is the Columbia River, and that's on the other side of the building. That's where the waterfall, that big waterfall that they were talking about, goes into the Columbia River. And then we have, is that I-5 right there?
That's 84. Highway 84.
84. That's it. So the 84, it's a big major highway, and that's actually like right over there. That highway goes all the way across the state, east to west. Yeah. If we ever do this again, and do it during daylight, there's a really cool like garden area and a bridge that goes over the creek and everything like that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sure.
Are you
Okay,
guys
I'm giving you to Jeff.
Are you guys planning on spending the night there?
What's that?
No.
What do you say?
Yeah, he asked if we're still planning to stay the night here. Heck no, not after all that. Nope.
Okay, what are rooms? I mean, what's
We will
the,
one night.
I mean, what's the price for the rooms? I mean, what are we looking at price wise?
We'll have to ask the experts.
So
What,
I'm not really an expert, but I can.
how much are rooms here?
It totally varies by time of the year and what you're looking for. If you're not looking for a room that's specifically like a Riverview room, the garden sides are less. This time of year, they're pretty reasonable. You can get them, actually, we were selling them for under 100 weekdays on Expedia. You could get them cheaper on Expedia than booking them direct through us.
okay, guys, I need $100 sent to me right now.
You get one for $100 tonight, but
Look, y'all know we're gonna make it fun.
Well, you know, hey, where is that suit you supposed to be wearing?
Yeah, wear your pimp suit.
Where's that pimp suit at?
Oh, so yeah, look, I was gonna wear the pimp suit in here, man, but you know, Sheba tore the hat up. My dog, she tore the hat up.
It's going about this way, don't you?
Sure, she did.
Yeah, I'm like you, Connie. I think he's full of it. Where in the hell's that damn suit at?
Oh,
What was that?
Where's that suit?
that's fine.
What?
Okay, sorry, he can't hear you guys. What was the question?
Where's the suit?
Oh,
Where's the what?
where's the suit?
The suit. Yeah. Well, there again, they went to the dry cleaners, man, and they, you know, hey, I can't help what happens here, man. Hood River is so busy.
Connie.
Yeah, man, look, it ain't my fault, man. I had it all ready to go. I lost the hat, but man, look, at least I got my mask.
Connie, you believe that? I don't believe nothing he's saying.
I think I think it might have been the digital dry cleaners.
What's that, Connie?
I said I think it might have been the digital dry cleaners.
Yeah, it is, you know. But
You said
I tell you what, I'll make a deal with you. This, you know, Mr. Maxwell here, he's got access to a lot of the clothes, the pimp towel. Tell him, can you hook me up?
I can make you look like anyone you want to.
Well, hey,
So there you go. I tell you what,
Very interesting.
let's get enough money raised for like a whole week to be here. No, I'm just joking. But I will wear something really nice the next time we come here.
well, I'll tell you what, man.
Huh?
You know, I am a big Oregon fan, and
Yeah. So hey, you know, Terry that owns the Oregon Ducks.
Mhm.
Terry is a huge fan of the Oregon Ducks. In fact, in his background right there, you can see, yeah, he's got all the Oregon stuff.
The Oregon Ducks.
Oregon
Pretty
Ducks.
good. Yeah.
I got it all. I got it all right here. You
The
guys-
Ducks are in Eugene,
Have you been to Oregon?
University of Oregon.
I've been to Portland probably about 30 years ago. I have not been
Okay.
back.
How did it get here?
Well, get up here. No.
Yeah.
I would love to come up there.
This is a
Yeah.
picture of a bride hugging her friend at her.
So, man, the next time we come and do this, I'll be a little bit better prepared. I'll have my Bluetooth or whatever, and like she said, we should have just went up. You know, if she would have known, we could have did this up in the office. So, I just, you know, I was expecting this phone to be a little bit louder, but you know,
Hey, can you
now I know.
Can you put the young lady back on the phone, please?
Huh?
Can you put the young lady back on the phone, please?
Yeah. Here you go.
Oh.
This is Charlotte. She wants to talk to you.
Hey, Charlotte. I got a friend
Okay,
of mine.
things are getting kind of loud over here now. So. Okay.
I got a friend of mine who's she's on the show and she's a medium. She's a clairvoyant also. And I'm just going to tell you a little bit of what she saw when you were outside. Are you ready for this?
No, but
Okay, she saw a lady looking out the window. She wasn't specific on what window it was, I think, when you were outside. And there is a gentleman lurking around you guys. He's a little bit curious on what you guys are doing there. And also, there's a little girl named Sally that's there too. So you might want to check those out. The old man, he's a little curious. He's just lurking around, hanging out with you guys. He doesn't mean any harm, I don't think. Oh man, well, she said the old man used to work there.
Okay.
But that's all I have for you at the moment. But yeah,
I
so,
will mention those things to Tamara as well and see if anything sounds familiar to her.
yeah, because there's an old man hanging around you, and a little girl named Sally.
Okay. I actually have heard I have old men hanging around me. Me?
Yeah, I'm the old man. I'm the old man hanging around.
Not that one. But you said that this guy works here.
Yeah, he used to work there.
Okay.
So I bet he probably just curious on what you guys doing. He probably see all the activity that's going on and just curious.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't tell you no more about the lady in the window because she doesn't give me more information on that. But
So when I was walking you guys outside, I was actually told to show you guys the tower to see if anybody saw something in the window because that's a common
hi, is that a coincidence or?
I don't know if anybody's staying in there.
If I see Al, let me make sure.
I don't know.
Is that where you're talking about in like that tower part, the tall part?
Let me ask her, Irene, is that what you're talking about? Or hold on.
So you're supposed to slide here around the wall.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Standing here.
Hold on for a sec. Let's see if I can get her. I got more, but we don't have time. She said there's more, but she don't have time to talk. Was that in the tower that you were speaking of, Irene, before you get out of here? Yeah, well, we know he's dead, but we're just trying to figure out what exactly you're talking about. Was that in the tower, or was that somewhere else? Were you talking about the lady in the mirror, in the window?
Oh my gosh.
It takes some time.
Okay, I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
So Tamara is showing her pictures right now. I think she doesn't want to publicly show them. She wants to, save them for her own thing that she's been working on. But I saw a couple of them, and you guys should stay tuned.
Okay, well, no, she said it was in a room. It wasn't in the tower. Not the lady.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she said it wasn't the tower. It was in a room.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are guests here too.
Yeah, you're right. But
So.
We got some exciting news.
Oh, Jeff has some exciting news.
Listen, guys, we are going to the ballroom.
What?
We're going down to the ballroom.
Right now?
Yeah, I had one here in a few minutes. I don't know.
Is this are we good to keep doing this if you guys wanted to see the ballroom, or is this got to end?
Hey, Tamara.
Minutes left.
If we go to the ballroom, can we stay on the show for a moment?
Oh.
I mean, it's up to you. I mean,
The problem is, we would be walking in the dark because the lights to the ballroom are on the very far end.
I got my thermal camera. We can.
I don't think we're gonna do that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Well,
That was pretty cool letting you guys come in, right? Do this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't think there's a problem.
well, tell Jeff.
We probably won't be able to do it because there's no lights on down there, so they don't want to.
Well, I'm gonna have to walk
That's a
down.
weird name. She said her name was Adele. Adele is an old name.
Can you say that one more time, please?
She said her name was Adele.
This is one of those instances where.
The lady in the room.
Forgiveness instead of permission.
Whose name is Adele?
The lady in the room. At least you have a name to go by, but that's, if you want to pursue that, that's totally up to you. I understand that one.
Tamara, does the name Adele ring any sort of a bell? Yeah.
No.
No. She said no.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna let you guys enjoy the rest of the evening. And tell Mr. Jeffrey that contact me.
Let's go.
Okay, thank you. I don't know why this, it was weird when you played the ad, the volume was really loud. But then when we're back on this app or on this website, it's just super quiet. So sorry, it's been kind of hard to hear, but I'm glad that we made it work. And if we do this again, I will be prepared to bring my laptop for everybody to use.
That's fine.
What was that?
Well, you're gonna have to hear the piano as we go through there, because that's the only way to get down there. We have to go.
Sorry, can you say that again?
All right, guys, we're about to get out of here. Jeffrey, I'll talk to you in a couple of days.
We'll talk to you in a couple of days.
Talk to you in a couple of days, okay?
And let me know what you found in the ballroom.
Uh-huh.
And if you find something, please post it. And
Okay.
we can figure something out. Maybe we can do this again when you get a little bit more stuff on there, on the location. In the meantime, you guys you enjoy your evening, brother.
Yeah, Will, and I'm just gonna go check this out. We just got invited to go down, and certainly gonna work on trying to come back, man. That's the whole thing. We want to come back, and I want to have the experiences that people have here.
Right. All right, guys.
Hey, thank you for having Paranormal Society of Middle Georgia, and we want to also give a big shout out to the Columbia Gorge Hotel for accommodating us to come in do this. And I promise you, when we come back to this place, it's going to be awesome.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, and
All right,
I want to say hello to Connie with Ware County Paranormal. She's been a dear friend of mine for quite a few years now.
I think
And I want to thank her for tuning in. I don't know who the other gentleman was that was tuned in here, but sorry we missed it. And I guess we'll catch you next time.
We're not gonna let him get away with that, is he?
Oh no. Because when he comes back east.
Look, she just got a whole. She just ordered. It should be coming any day. She just ordered.
I got it today.
Huh?
It all came in today.
You got everything in today?
Yep.
She just got a bunch of cool equipment, man. I can't wait to get back to Georgia.
About $300 worth.
Well, hey, I want that pimp suit.
You want what?
That pimp suit.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna work on it though. I got a little brother. He's got a pimp hat, and I might be able to work that out with him.
Hey, Jeffrey, you never know. Maybe you'll be here for my graduation.
There you go.
Yeah,
I just graduated from college with my bachelor's degree in psychology in January.
Hey, congratulations, Connie.
Congratulations, buddy.
That's awesome.
Man, yeah. Wow.
Well, I just graduated from the NSPS. Now I know to have a better sound system here. And it's not your fault, Terry. It's just that, I've never been on a televised podcast.
Well, there you go. Hey, you need to get your pimpology on too.
I don't know.
What was that?
So you need to get your pimpology on.
Oh yeah, you know it, man. And I'm gonna get Charlotte to help with that.
Oh, damn. I don't think she's ready for that.
Oh, I demand that they be there.
All right, guys. Hey, this is Terry with NSPS TV Paranormal Podcast, signing off. Hey, if you guys want to check out Mr. Jimmy Vaughan, please go to Paranormal Society of Middle Georgia and check him out.
Also, want to say thanks for Mr. Maxwell Hart coming out
Yeah, and
tonight and supporting. And he's actually a local investigator, so we're gonna come back.
all right, Connie Lee, you too, Ware County Paranormal Society. Appreciate you joining us.
Huh?
You know what I'm saying? Hey, but this is Terry. We're signing off, man. Hey, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Peace.